Former Mpumalanga MK convener, Mary Phadi, is accusing the party's deputy president, John Hlophe, of making unwanted sexual advances. In a letter circulating on social media, she claims to have been vilified and victimized for turning him down. Mary Phadi joins us in studio tonight to talk about her claims of sexual harassment. Ms. Phadi, thank you very much for your time. Very serious accusation, and particularly for a country that's been gripped in the last few days, watching the Judicial Conduct Tribunal against the Eastern Cape Judge, President Selby Mbenenge. And here are yet more claims from another woman in South Africa. Talk to us about your story. What has happened here?
I think it was caused by the sequence of events, because it all started in August, and because of that reason, one is trying to understand as to what could be the escalating propaganda and attacks that one gets within a political party. I had to go to court to clear my name. Hence, the convener and reinstated in my position as a convener, as well as the party leader in the legislature. But if you look at what has been happening, one can wonder as to, is that the reason why I have denied the deputy president an opportunity to advance his interest in me? And the first letter that I received, it was from him. The beginning of August, we met. Before the end of August, already I was receiving a letter that says that I should give reasons why I should not be withdrawn as a party leader.
So there are two things here, and I would like for them to be separated, because your position in Mpumalanga as the MK party convener, you are telling us here today that you are still the convener of the MK party. We'll talk about that at the end. We'd like to deal with the sexual harassment claims. What can you prove? What is it that you can put on the table and say, this is what John Hlophe said to me, and this I view as an attempt at trying to get me to sleep with him?
You know, I don't have to prove anything, because it is personal, and the messages that he has sent to me are the ones that can be able to prove that. I don't have to sit on the table and say, I'm trying to convince you, Claudie, to say this had happened. Yeah. But if you read the messages, you will be able to tell what I had denied him to meet with me, and therefore later within that month, and then you see such responses, then you now think as to why I could not write to the president earlier. It is because everything happened so fast, in such a manner that when he sent that letter of me being requested to withdraw myself on the 26th of August, he then disappeared into the picture. And then later on, I received another letter, which is the letter that is sitting in court, and it does not make sense in terms of the dates. But where we are seated here is that I don't have to say it myself, but I can tell you now that messages can be able to prove that. But beyond messages... So
these are messaging, these are text messages via the phone that you say you have in your possession?
The information that is there, it will assist everyone to be able to be comfortable. But because it's a personal matter, I'm happy with the fact that I'm trying to find the understanding as to exactly what is happening, and therefore I don't have to prove myself to any messages. Yeah. He can even go and do a lie detector test, then we are sorted.
You have raised this with the leader of the party, Jacob Zuma. What did he say?
He did not respond on time. And it so happened that obviously the media will pick up such things, and we find ourselves here. But it is an internal letter that I was sending to the president to say, President, I think whatever that is happening, it is the reason behind the messages that I received, and I had denied that the deputy president the opportunity to be able to speak to me further than the way he did.
Yeah.
And indeed, I could tell that it did not sit well with them.
You're now coming out with this publicly. If John Hlophe decides to come after you legally, are you prepared to go to court to prove your claims of sexual harassment against him?
That will be much better. The reason why we took MK to court is because of the allegations and the propaganda that I've misappropriated funds in Mkhento Wesizwe. I've created internal disgruntled members, or I have created instability within the political party. We went to court. 2 lawyers have withdrawn. The 3rd lawyer has been referred to by Dr. Hlophe. And that tells me that 2 lawyers cannot say, we cannot be able to take this case. And the 3rd lawyer says, the letter coming from Dr. John Hlophe says, you need to pursue this case when they could not appeal on time. It tells you very clear that even if he goes to court, I think it will be interesting because it will assist a lot of women with the attacks that already they are sending out to say, why were you quiet? You know, why you did not report it on time? You know, people who always put in a time frame into something that is not funny. This is not funny. Women need to be able to speak out, and leaders of any organization must be able to say, hold on, why are we here?
Yeah.
He must be suspended with immediate effect. The way he wanted me to be suspended with allegations that do not exist, he needs to be suspended with immediate effect. Then that will tell us that Mkhonto Wesizwe is interested to make sure that everybody is fine. But what I'm saying is that for him to get the 3rd lawyer made me to realize that indeed he's up to something. Why should 2 lawyers withdraw and then the 3rd lawyer been sent by him?
Your troubles within the MK party are well documented. And as you say, you've even had to go to court. What if the response from the MK party comes back and says, you are a disgruntled party, and therefore you have now resorted to saying that Dr. John Hlophe is harassing you sexually, and in the process, you want, at the time that you exit the stage in the MK party, the party itself must be so mired in controversy that it will automatically disappear itself. Is that, how would you respond to that kind of analysis?
It would be unfortunate. If MK can say that I'm a disgruntled member, it will be indeed unfortunate, because MK must be saying that here are the leaders that you want in MK. Here are the women that will be able to build our country. This is a woman that will be able to stand up and say no to the things that are happening to women out there in any political party. And, you know, if MK is saying that I want to be here because I want a position, they must think again. I am here because I was following a president that I followed when it was not fashionable. The president that has been implementing policies of the ANC to the T. We've seen millionaires, we've seen business people coming up, we've seen women being given, you know, an opportunity to be able to speak.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, it will be unfortunate for them to say that.
Finally, does the president that you have been following, as you say, does former President Zuma support your leadership of Mpumalanga?
Definitely.
He's expressly said that.
Definitely. If he did not support that, he wouldn't put me to be able to lead the province. And if he's not doing that, he wouldn't be quiet when we are trying to fix what is wrong within Umkhonto we. Remember, if you've got an executive and you've got a president, there's no need for members to be able from time to time to go to the president. It is important for members to be able to respond. If I've got a clean audit with the legislature, that tells already that I cannot go to the president and say, President, by the way, I received a clean audit because I'm trying to convince the president. No, I don't have to do that. But if there's something wrong, the president will be able to say, there's a leader in Mpumalanga that is not making me happy. And at the moment, he's fully supporting me.
What should the public make then of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, who also, it appears, claims to be a leader of the MK party in Mpumalanga?
He was announced, and she's in contempt of court, by the way. And I'm really worried because she received a letter where she was being asked that she should not continue to confuse the ground. And at the moment, I think she must find a way of accepting the fact that processes were not followed correctly within MK. And if the court can be able to prove that, I don't see a reason why for her to be able to struggle and push herself into something that is not going to assist. If I was wrong within MK, MK could have appealed the case. And if I was wrong with Umkhonto we could have just called me in to say, follow the internal processes, but nothing has happened. And I'm still here, and I'm still the member of Umkhonto we.
Mary Phadi, thank you very much for your time, and thanks indeed for joining us in studio tonight.